someone pass here?
Yeah, as I'm approaching this guy, unfortunately, the thought that first came into my head was a story I've heard down here of one of the lifeguards about 10 years ago, approaching a guy on the beach in a similar situation and he was dead.
On a classic Bondi day, Fatty, Hoppo and Baggis are on tower duty when an unusual report comes in.
Yeah, okay. Oh, no worries, we'll just send someone down and have a look. Yeah. Easy. No worries.
An older man is lying on the beach, motionless.
Or is it someone pass here?
See that guy in the blue shorts, like, just straight through there, like he's in a weird sort of a fetal position almost.
Years earlier, a similar situation faced by lifeguards ended in tragedy.
I might just walk down there, eh? He said he's been like that for a while.
It's like 1 year ago.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. I know the story. You can tell. Yeah, as I'm approaching this guy, unfortunately, the thought that first came into my head was a story I've heard down here of one of the lifeguards about 10 years ago, approaching a guy on the beach in a similar situation and he was dead. And you don't want to think the worst, but it kind of just naturally happens.
It's like an older guy. Yeah, it's an awkward position, I think. So he's moved his head.
He was having the best nap ever. I can't believe he cooled his nap.
Yeah, I couldn't win. The worst result was he was dead and had to deal with that terrible situation. The better result, which is still not a good result, is I wake up a guy having to sleep on the beach. So yeah, I was in a bit of a pickle, really.
Fatty, why'd you wake him up from his nap?
Yeah, he was filthy. His words were quite nice, but the look he gave me was just daggers. He really wasn't impressed.
He was just in the middle of just a perfect afternoon nap and Fatty woke him.
Yeah, we get some funny jobs down here and some stuff that definitely falls out of the lifeguarding realm.
He's bumming. He's just in a bag, though.
He was on his lunch break. He's like, oh, my lunch break, I've still got 20 minutes left. I was like, I'm so sorry to wake you up.
Boys, I just got the phone call just now. It's just the other side of the baby's pool near the rock pool. There's someone there, they're applying pressure. There's a fair bit of blood. Ambulance called, they're on their way over.
I told you something was gonna happen. When you're in the buggy going to an incident, to tell you the truth, you're always thinking of the worst.
Hi boys, a few people around here.
Got there and there's actually a guy on the ground. He had a fairly bad head cut.
The head cut is not life-threatening, but without warning, emergency services come from all directions.
One is with sirens going through the car park, 2 cars. Copy, there's 2 cop cars flying up that way.
Lifeguards aren't sure if the response is for the head cut or that something else is going on.
We're responding to a head wound on the North Corner rocks. So I think it's a different incident. What are you talking about? So you're saying that there's a scuba diver that's drowned? Okay. I just was like, excuse me? I needed him to say it again to me. I was like, okay. So you're saying that he's drowned, he's fully submerged, he's dead? That's accurate. Okay, all right, well, we'll launch our jet ski. So Bondi Central, just letting you know that we've had a report of a scuba diver at North Bondi drowning. Boys, we need the jet ski.
Yeah, copy, I'm in the Can-Am. Can you get a vest and that suited up for me? I'm going to pull the ski out.
Martha's suited up, I'm going to put him in the water now, Ben.
One of you guys dealing with that first aid, do you just want to head out towards the rocks there? You're almost out there, just bolt across and see what you can see.
I said, Harrison, stay here with the patient, I'll go. So I've just started bolting for North Bondi.
Jesse races to the last known location of the diver.
As I turned around, I had police officers, police rescue, ambulance officers, everyone just running after me. And it was kind of like, all right, I'm here. If I see this guy, I'm jumping in the water to get him.
Hey, Biggie, I'm up here. I can't see anyone, mate. Copy, mate. Yeah, I don't know.
Ben Buckler, head to Ben Buckler. I'm getting an updated report. Someone's drowned off Ben Buckler.
The information lifeguards are receiving is unverified.
It was bizarre. It was like, riddle me this. It's a drowned scuba diver off the headland of North Bondi. And it was very confusing. It didn't really make sense.
In addition to the jet ski, paramedics and police, Lifesaver 1 joins the search.
Yeah, radio check, jet ski. Central, this is jet ski. Any further information we hear?
The most recent information I have is a scuba diver drowned North Bondi. What a time for this to happen. You know, the water's pretty clear here. Sometimes you can get a small visual, but if they're diving at any sort of depth, there's really no way to see if there's a drowned scuba diver.
Information is patchy, but lifeguards prepare for the worst.
Hudson will meet you down at North Bondi. We've got a DC if you do grab someone.
Jess was out on the rocks and he was trying to get a visual on, you know, anything. He's like, there's nothing. I can't see anything.
Finally, a breakthrough.
We started walking back around and there was a police officer next to me, and then I heard it go over his radio saying it's the wrong information. It's the guy that's on the rock with the head cut.
He's at Deano. It's just the guy that cut his head. We'll come back around the rocks. I'm just with him now.
Frustration quickly gives way to relief as lifeguards focus on the positives.
Amazing hustle by everyone, by the way, if it's just a head cut. Good job, everyone. Everyone should be pretty damn proud of themselves.
It just makes me laugh because I'm like, what else can happen? Like, seriously. I've been here my whole life, and every day I come to work and I see something new, or something like that happens, and it's just so Bondi.
Swim over to the bank, over that way.
Reidy and Bisho direct a group of swimmers out of a rip and to the safety of a nearby sandbank.
The guy out the back, totally ignoring me. Swim to your right. You're panicking, aren't you?
Bisho thinks the man can make it on his own.
It's all right. Mate, that was his best.
Boys, that bloke furthest away from the bank, he's starting to pull some pretty weird heads.
He doesn't realise he's about 2 metres from the sandbank. He's be able to stand up very soon. He's freaking out.
Attention, the guy at the back doing breaststroke there, mate. If you keep going toward your right, as your friends did earlier, you'll be fine.
In the tower, Mouse decides it's time to act.
Yeah, I reckon it's worth going in for that one.
So close to the bank, but he's not. I think he's starting to panic. He's not listening to the boys. I think Reidy's just going to get him.
I hope Andrew gets denied. Stand up, buddy. You're on your feet. Look. Magic.
As Bisho predicted, the man makes it onto the sandbank.
You're coming home empty-handed.
While Reidy doesn't perform a rescue, he decides to deliver a lecture.
He's going to go back out, is he?
Straight across. We were trying to tell you to go onto the sandbank. You wouldn't listen. Go to your right. You're right. Yeah, I know. Next time, swim between the red and yellow flags. Good. Cool.
Nice day. Why not get wet, I guess? But I don't like to do that because in case something happens and we need 2 lifeguards, then it just leaves me. I can't do a whole beach. I probably could. Well done, Andrew.
I didn't do anything.
But yeah, we're just explaining what not to do, and you did.
What I did, I wanted to get wet.
If I had a body like that, I'd leave my shirt on.